And that was pretty much my entire Salt Lake day trip. I ended up going for no particular reason, but it all started from going from LAX and then leaving LAX and arriving at Salt Lake City. And one of the first things we decided to do after getting our car rental was going to the state capitol. And at the state capitol, we were taking pictures, looking at things to do. And in reality is that it was a awesome view of the entire city. And we ended up spending up quite a amount of time in here. It was around 100 degrees when we ended up going, and I'll say for the most part, one of the key components is always to be hydrated. I know that one of our group members was feeling a little bit fatigued, but overall, this view right here was amazing. After taking those pictures, we had decided to go to downtown Salt Lake City. We ended up trying to go to this place called Temple Square. Unfortunately, the main temple was closed around the time I went, so what I ended up doing was just really walking around downtown. And one thing I realized is that Salt Lake City is pretty small. It's a pretty small city. It's very clean. It looks very different compared to other cities that I've traveled to. But overall, I'll say I had to go again and perhaps visit when it's again clean. Clean, I mean open for the temple run. After that, I was just pretty much just driving around Salt Lake City, and then we decided to go to Ensign Peak. And at the Ensign Peak, it's not that much of a walk. It's about maybe a mile walk from the base to the summit. And going along the walk, you're already kind of being showcased the views of the city. And there is kind of two sections to the hike. The first section kind of has this little plateau where you could really see the city and this perspective. And I will say for those that have a difficult time walking or are just kind of challenged for whichever way to make that hike, this is a good spot to kind of see the city. So this is a good spot you could try. But if you really want to see the top and you're able to, then you have to continue on hiking. And this is the top view of the hike. And right now, it's all there is. This pretty much goes over what the summit is. It goes over the founding of the city, and it also kind of mentions how Joseph ended up seeing this location and decided to settle here. And this is kind of one of the main placards that's up there. I do enjoy reading this type of things for some reason. And here's another one that kind of goes over the flags on Ensign Peak. And again, the flags are kind of representative of the beliefs of Joseph. And this is pretty much what he ended up seeing and the reason why he decided to stay there. And ultimately, just even looking at this, we're really able to see that Salt Lake City is it's very, very small. And one thing that I did notice is that there's a lot of construction occurring and the city is expanding rapidly. So if you have to go, I would say probably go now, probably go soon, because eventually it will get populated. And again, this summit is kind of demanding, so maybe in the winter it might be ideal. But if not, then just remember to take a lot of water, stay hydrated. What actually our group ended up doing, we legitimately waited 1 hour to just hydrate, take a nap, and just kind of uh, take it slow in order in order to make the hike too. So there is that. And since we rented a car, we were just able to chill inside a car with the AC. I know that there's other options where you could just stay in the mall and just chill there. There's also a state capitol souvenir shop, which you could just stay there and just chill and really acclimate and kind of de-heat yourself, so to say, and there's free water stations and bathroom in there, so you could just chill. And ultimately, the hike, even hiking down from Esign Peak, there is a lot of things to become observing. The hike up and the hike down is a view on itself. And I know that me and my friends were kind of joking around. We're going up to the peak. All of us were struggling, and then there was this woman that was pretty much sprinting up the hill on sandals, and we were just joking on each other, saying that she's her, that we had pretty much gear and walking shoes, and yet we were tired. But then after that walk, we had to kind of take it slow, and in the sense that we just had to cool down. So we decided to kind of go to the Great Salt Lake, the lake itself. And one thing I do have to note is that it smelled bad. I didn't see anywhere that the smell was going to be pleasant. I didn't see anywhere that there was a huge amount of flies. I just kind of went there really unprepared for it. And the type of smell is that when you leave eggs outside and they kind of go bad, it has a rotten egg smell. And that was actually something very disturbing, and you can't really hear it in the video, but there's times where I was just holding my breath, and honestly, it was just not that great to go around. But all around, there's kind of like separation of the plains, you could say. There were some areas that were kind of crusted salt on the bed of the lake, and then there was a kind of like section that had a lot of flies. So that black section that we end up seeing is mostly filled with flies. And here's a little closer up look. A lot of flies, and you can't really see, but they're kind of walking away. There we go. I did have a video where I was running when the flies were just flying away, but unfortunately I ended up deleting the footage and I don't have it. But here is a kind of an inside look of how it looks, the Salt Lake. And I put the camera on top of my sandal and it's floating, because I guess kind of the point of having a lot of salt concentration. And there I am inside the water. And the only thing I regret on this trip is not being able to actually go into the water. I was kind of scared because I don't know how to swim, but then that's the only thing I kind of regret, is not being fully submerged. So if you do come, it's a must-have to bring your extra set of clothing, and it's will be something that I would do again. It was a great experience overall, and besides the egg smell, besides the 100-degree weather, it was a fantastic experience. And one thing that kind of was more to my fault for not planning, but kind of finding good food around Salt Lake City was kind of hard. Maybe it's because I'm spoiled and I'm from LA and my mom cooks great food, but it was very hard to find great food out there. And ultimately, we came back to LAX around 10 p.m. So I left around 5 in the morning and came back around 9 p.m. And by the time I landed and got home, it was closer to 11. So that was my day trip. And if I had to put anything another way, I'll say bring another pair of shorts. But hope you guys enjoy. And I'm planning to upload one when I went to North Carolina for a day trip too. And I'll probably have that in the works soon.